For more analysis, I'm joined in studio by Shawn Zigelstein, a sales representative for Royal LePage. You've been watching this announcement with interest. What was your first thought? I mean, there's a raft of 16 of them, but in terms of the big stuff, what was your first thought?
Well, you're looking at it, just what happens. And we knew there was going to be something. They announced it, even though we had the Housing Summit 2 days ago, and they said, well, we're still looking at the information. Today, they come out with their release. And I think the biggest thing that everybody is looking at is the foreign home buyers tax. And what are they going to do, a speculator's tax? The 15%, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Is it going to slow the market? Or is it going to remain the same? It'll be very interesting to see, because we don't have the actual numbers and the statistics to put in place, how many of these purchases that are taking place are from these foreign buyers.
And what we saw happen in Vancouver, which would undoubtedly have been part of the thought process with this meeting that they had, is, oh, well, the general consensus was that a foreign buyer's tax had an effect on that Vancouver market. Yeah,
we were seeing drops. I believe the numbers were somewhere before the tax was announced, there was something like 1,974 sales to foreign buyers. After that tax was announced, it dropped something like 93% the following month. But they actually had those statistics to utilize and say, well, this is the market that we're seeing, and this is how many buyers out of our market it's actually taking place. We don't have those numbers, so we're guessing that it may help, but they're not quite sure.
A big part of the discussion for many weeks has been the lack of affordable housing, the lack of development to specific housing measures. And to that end, Premier Wynne saying today that they're going to release some properties to, for specific builds. Will that help the supply?
Well, I think it will help the supply, but it's down the road. And we're looking probably by the time things get built, by the time things get released and properties get onto the market, you're probably looking 4, 5, 6 years down the road before any of that happens. So how is that going to cool a hot real estate market today? I don't think it will.
What about the bidding wars? We keep hearing about the bidding wars, and Charles Sousa, so Ontario, was saying this has got to stop. And that was leading into today's announcement.
Yes, and I think that bidding wars are an interesting business. It is fun for sellers. Yeah. It is not fun for buyers out there. I was talking to an agent yesterday. His buyer was in 64 different bidding wars before he finally got a house or a condo. I think that when you're pricing properties extremely low in order to get that interest, then yes, you are going to get those bidding wars taking place. When you're pricing properties where they need to be sold, are you going to get some bidding wars? Yeah, you still may, because you may still get some additional interest in it. However, you're not going to get the crazy bidding wars that we hear when things are going, $500,000 or $1 million over asking price.
What about the real estate agents? And in terms of, there have been calls over the years for more transparency to stop this double lending situation, where people aren't going to know what the other buyers. Would any of that help? They weren't part of the measures that I saw today, but would any of that help?
I think they touched on it a little bit when they were discussing the measures today. I think from a business standpoint, I think it's definitely a good thing. And we are believers that you want to deal with good, ethical, strong realtors. We've got 52,000 realtors on the Toronto Real Estate Board right now, give or take a few hundred. There's a lot of us out there. How many are full-time? How many are part-time? I like to deal with ethical agents that we're dealing with on a regular basis. That's a great opportunity. And then you do see that transparency, and everything does happen the way that it should.
Overall, do you think all of this will make a difference in the short term?
I think it's going to make a little bit of a difference only from the sense of the public perception. I had a number of clients texting me, calling me this morning saying, what does this mean for us? What does this mean to my property that's coming on the market this week? And I'm saying, you know what, guys? The people that are buying our properties aren't foreign buyers. These are people that want to live in your house. These are people that want to live in your community. And that's what we're seeing, especially in York Region. A lot of people are coming in and they're living there. We're not seeing a lot of the speculators as their thinking is downtown right now.
Okay, all right. Shawn Zigelstein, appreciate your time. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.